Ice Cream Conversation. Ice Cream Conversation. Let's go. Forever on the grind all day, every day. Ice Cream Convos, always real, they never play. Download the podcast, listen on any day. Why didn't I do this sooner? Only thing you ever say. Xaviera, best host of all time. All of the faithful listeners will say they never lie. Check every story they run, like me with the rhymes. When other shows report anything, it should be a crime. Entertainment news, yeah, I gotta get mine from ICC, and you should be inclined to do the same if you got half a mind. I do co-sign this lady to shine like Frankenstein. Cut it the day design. IceCreamConvos.com. Tune in, yeah. This influence by IceCreamConvos.com.
Welcome to the Ice Cream Convos Podcast, where we serve delicious scoops of entertainment and celebrity news. I'm your host, Xaviera.
And I'm your co-host, Karla.
And we thank you so much for tuning in today. This is our second episode of us being back, and I'm just as hype as I was last week.
Yes, for real. Probably more excited. I feel like I'm more excited.
I am more excited, and this episode is going to be lots of fun because we're going to get into a lot. We're going to take it to the black table. We're going to get real. See what I'm doing right there? You see how I'm doing it? We're going to get real.
I like that.
We're going to take a long walk around the park after the dark. So it's a lot of stuff for us to talk about. But before we get into that, how has your week been, Karla? What's been going on since last time we were together?
It's been pretty good. Can't complain. Just still doing what I'm supposed to do. We still, only go out as needed.
Right.
Everything in the backyard, having a good time. We probably cooked out more than ever. Any other summer I ever remember.
I guess so. You done set your husband up his little his outdoor man cave. Please don't let my husband see that. Lord have mercy, Jesus.
Yes. Listen, shout out to the man cave. But yes, I've been enjoying partaking in the man cave at night, but that's all, just doing family stuff and kicking it. How was your week?
My week was all right, but it was so challenging just on a personal level. But on Friday, She Media announced that I was their partner of the week.
Hey.
Partner of the week. So I was very good. That was a great way.
Finish that. Congratulations.
Oh yeah. So that was awesome. Because some of the ICC friends may know, like, I've been dropping hints and mentioning that some big thing has happened with Ice Cream Convos, and it is that I am now officially a partner of She Media. So I'm very excited about that.
Nice. Round of applause.
Popping, little things drop. Is that what he said? Big things popping, little things. What's the little thing?
Yeah, big things, little thing. Oh, that's terrible. My lyrics are gone anymore. I used to remember all the lyrics.
Yeah, you used to be my human iPod. What's going on, Karla? What's going on?
Girl, getting old. You see these gray hairs?
Yeah. So before we went live on the podcast, Karla and I was having just a offbeat discussion, and I'm sure our ICC queens can relate. It's time to buy new drawers, y'all. It's just time to buy new drawers.
Yeah.
Summer is here. It's hot. And these cute little drawers, the little cute little silky johns and all that, that's not going to work out here in these high temperatures.
Nah, not at all.
You're going to have to take it back to the cotton. Take it back to the cotton, because the cotton absorbs moisture and all that, and you don't want to be walking around. Karla, what you said?
Like you done took a dip. Straight came out of the water.
Like you took a dip. Ain't nothing worse than trying to go to the bathroom and your drawers are sticking to you. There is nothing worse than that. So ladies, shout out to all my queens who out here switching and swaying in your sundresses with your cotton drawers underneath. Yes. But shout out to the super duper duperty duper OGs who out here with no drawers on at all.
Girl,
see, I can't do that.
I can't. Nah, I'm good. And it's being done more and more. I ain't judging, but no, I noticed. I wish I had that in me to do that.
Now, you know why I can't do it? Because when that sweat hits your thighs and your thighs start sliding off each other, like, whoop, whoop, I can't do it.
Sound like you got a pair of corduroys on. Girl, no, I ain't here for it.
And that's when you get home. See, can I talk to my real sisters for a moment? You know, the ones whose thighs rub together and touch. Because, you know, it's a new trend out here. At one point in time, it was a trend where girls were purposefully trying to make sure their thighs don't touch. You know, it was the thigh gap mess. Nah, I want to talk to my real sisters whose thighs always touch unless you standing in a straddle position. I want to talk to y'all. Because see, what we can't do is, and I know some are, you know, sundresses, summertime, all that stuff, real cute. But we got to move through these streets carefully, because if we don't have material between our meat, we gonna get home and you gonna take that sundress off and pull down them soaked drawers, and you gonna have 2 black marks in the middle of your thighs. Trust and believe, I done ran through enough cocoa butter sticks.
Shout out to Palmer's. Shout out to Palmer's.
You gotta be like, Palmer. Shout out to Palmer's. Let me tell you something. So I'm just giving y'all the warning. Y'all could be out here and be cute, you know, and hope the wind blow your little dress up and you
that was a good one. That needed to be said. Honestly, I appreciate you for that one. So a lot of folks need to hear that.
I'm just trying to hold it down for my queens. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's go ahead and get into our first topic of today's podcast, which has been, if there's a such thing as beating a dead horse, we probably bucking him down right now, but we would be remiss if we did not address this and bring it to the black table. So, Karla.
Yes.
Jada brought herself to the red table.
Oh, girl. Yes.
But she did not come by herself. She brought Will from Philly.
Yes, West Philly. Shout out West Philly.
Karla, what they say about Will in the Philly streets, girl?
So, you want me doing so? He doesn't get a lot of love here. Let's just say he doesn't get the love Meek Mill gets. I'm gonna be nice, because we can't. Will done been beat up enough this week.
Okay, all right. I appreciate you for keeping that classy. All right, so let's get back to the red table. So Jada brings herself to the red table to address the bomb that August Alsina dropped. Not necessarily a bomb that we didn't see coming, but it was a confirmation bomb, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. So she gets to the red table, and first things first, let me just tell you how it went down. I'm sitting in my living room. I'm putting together a video for Zulily because I partnered with them on this particular rollout, right? So I'm doing my Zulily video and I'm editing for YouTube. I get an email, boom, and I'm like, child, who emailing me while I'm trying to edit this video? I open it up and it says Red Table Talk and in the subject. And I'm like, Red Table Talk? I've never received an email from Red Table Talk my entire black ass life. Why am I getting an email from Red Table Talk?
Right.
So the email basically said Red Table Talk is now live. Jada brings herself to the red table. So I'm like, what? Now live? I look at the clock. It was literally 3:00 on the dot. That email outlined every single thing they talked about on that Red Table Talk before it even aired. That's number one. Yes, ma'am. That's number one. Mm-hmm. Outlined the entire discussion, gave me talking points, told me what hashtags to use. Will and Jada hired a marketing company for this red table. That is why it took a week for her to bring herself to the red table.
Yeah.
This was a production. Ladies and gentlemen, before we even get into what was said.
Wow.
Before we even dissect or get into what was said at the table, this was a full out production brought to you by 2 trained actors.
True that. True that. We forget.
Happen to be married. Okay, y'all married on paper. You saw what I said right there. Y'all married on paper. And so, yes, so I just want to lay that down to let anyone know, because people were like, oh my gosh, I just appreciate the transparency so much. Oh, they still goals. Oh, I just love the Smith so much. Will was so hurt. Will channeled, what's the movie he was in? I Am Legend.
Yeah, I Am Legend.
He channeled I Am Legend. He gave us I Am Legend realness while he was sitting at the table with the red eyes, looking like he ain't slept in 3 days, or he just drank a whole cup of Hennessy before he sat down at the table. So yes, we watched a full out production. I received, if I knew they wouldn't blow my spot up and just cut me out of any future Red Table Talk shenanigans, I would post the email just to show you guys how it goes down behind the scenes. I actually put up my post for Red Table Talk before I watched it because I had everything I needed in the email.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
That's very interesting. Like, the stuff goes on, but to actually see it, that's a whole different, So how do you feel about that? Like, how did that make you feel going in?
So going in, we talked about it. We touched on it a little bit last week. We said Jada was going to get at that table, start, pussyfooting around the bush. Mm-hmm. We said she was going to start using these old therapeutic ass TI 5-syllable words. She did not disappoint. Because let me say,
true. Check.
Entanglement. Damn, I was off. She missed 1 syllable. Entanglement is 4 syllables. Close enough. So
right.
She did what I expected her to do. So I went, after receiving the email, I said, oh, shucks, they done really stepped it up. Okay, let's go. I literally went in saying, let me see what they actually did. Mm-hmm. Because I already had the talking points. I already had the hashtags they wanted me to use. And it literally said, please write Facebook Watch versus Facebook. That's how detailed it was. Write Facebook.
Specific.
It was specific. Y'all know I struggle with that word. It was specific. I'm like, it was Pacific.
Yeah, right. Pacific.
It was very Pacific.
Wow.
So I'm like, what? So I go in, I start watching. They're sitting at the table like, well. So just on the outside looking in, Jada sat down because she's supposed to be doing her healing. She brought Will in as comic relief. All Will did was drop jokes. He just dropped jokes. All he did was drop jokes because, see, if Will can laugh, then we supposed to be able to laugh and be okay with it.
Yeah.
If he's not mad, if he not slinging the table across the room, why you didn't love me, man? If he's not doing that, then why should we be mad?
True.
He's
made us laugh for years.
He's made us laugh for years. So he literally said that basically the only reason why they were addressing it is because Black Twitter took it. And Black Twitter made it a thing.
I thought that was interesting.
It's tacky.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I'm like, oh, so Black Twitter, but Black Twitter is an army, better yet. So
yeah. Shoot.
I mean, it is. Black Twitter gonna hold you accountable.
Oh, absolutely.
And we discussed this last week. The only reason why they came to the table is because they had no wiggle room to wiggle out of this.
Yep.
The only way they could have got out of this is to straight up call August Alsina a liar.
Yeah.
And too many people, Black Twitter believed August. So now you can't just straight up call him a liar. Now you got to address it. So anyway, without spending too much time on this, because again, we don't want to beat a dead horse, but we would be remiss if we did not talk about it at all.
Yeah.
So Jada, long story short, Jada starts out with this friendship with August that later turned into an entanglement. And then Will helped her. Entanglement, 4 syllables. Shout out to T.I. T.I. probably was like, you didn't have one more syllable in the bag. Will comes in with the comic relief, and then Will pretended to hold Jada accountable when she kept saying entanglement. He was like, entanglement, Jada. So he was the one that was allegedly supposed to be, or portraying, I'm gonna say portraying, to keep her accountable. So she said she goes into this entanglement. Will gave her a oop by saying, well, we had split up. I was done with your ass.
Yeah. Nice oop.
A nice oop.
Yeah.
Now, just to add to that oop, I went and did some research. Mm-hmm. Technically, based off of what I know, Jada and August Alsina, and I explained last week why I call him Alsina, ain't doing it again. Jada and August Alsina started their friendship / courtship / entanglement around 2016.
Okay.
And from what I understand, it lasted maybe a couple years. So I'm just going to say 2016, and I'm going to just give it to late 2017, maybe early 2018. I went and searched through Getty because that's just what my brain tells me to do. Both were very active out and about, right? I searched from 2016 through 2018. I could not find one photo of Will and Jada together.
What? Stop. And Getty?
Getty. Not one. Will by himself. Wow. Jada by herself. And during that time, that is when she was doing Girls Trip. That's when she was doing all these other things. They did not come back together. And I did not find a picture of them together or as a unit until he did Gemini Man.
Wow.
Prior to that, there was never and I didn't bother to go through social media because, we can dig up old pictures and recycle those. Yeah. But I went to Getty because Getty is time stamped, location stamped, and all of those different stamps. So I was able to get a true, accurate depiction. They were not together because at first I felt like the whole separation thing was hogwash.
Right. Me too.
I still feel like it was hogwash. Yeah. I think the reason why, I feel like the reason why Will and Jada weren't seen together is because Jada was in the pictures with August, BET Awards 2017. So, if she was in a full-on relationship with August, why would she be prancing around with Will?
That's true.
I'm not really sure if I believe the whole broke up thing.
I don't believe it at all. In my personal opinion, I just don't believe. I just felt like they've always had an open marriage. That's just my opinion. There were always periods of time. I'm not going to say there wasn't periods of time where they were maybe faithful to each other, but I feel like there's always been that open door, kind of policy. I don't know if that's just
open door policy. But I'm just saying. Open door policy. So listen to this. To add some more context, I was speaking with another friend who is very well versed in Ruby Dee and Ozzie Harriet. Okay. Did I say that right? Is it Ozzie Harriet and Ruby Dee?
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah. It's Ruby Dee and Ozzie Harriet. For some reason, I feel like I'm not saying his last name right, but I'm just going to.
You got me. I'm on my phone now too. Look, you got me.
Yeah, it's Ruby Dee, right, and Ozzie Harriet. Now, somebody at home hollering at us like, "Yes, Ozzie Davis." I knew it wasn't. Right. So Ruby Dee and Ozzie Davis. So I had a conversation about Will and Jada with this friend, and she said, "I'm all about the type of marriage that they have." She was like, if I'm, we have our partnership, we are in this thing together, but I still have the freedom to explore other things that may be of interest to me. She was like, just like Ruby Dee and Ozzie Davis. And I said, excuse me.
Oh, word? Right.
Excuse me. I said, I beg your partner. That's my grandma used to say. I beg your partner. She said, yeah. She said she read their book and they had the type of marriage where if Ozzie saw something that he liked, he was free to explore it. If Ruby Dee saw something she liked, she was free to explore it. Now, I did not read this book myself, so y'all please don't drag me if it's not 1000% accurate or if I'm missing the link or the catch or the small fine print. But this is what she told me. Well, I'm scrolling through Instagram this week and somebody dug up an old clip of Will saying that he and Jada went and sat down with Ruby Dee for marriage advice. Boom, boom, boom.
Look at you over there connecting the dots. Wow.
Go. Who's next?
That's interesting though. Ruby Dee, I'm not judging. I'm just, it shows you the perception that we have sometimes and you just never know.
Just never know. And that is why we have to be so careful when we make someone our goals.
That's right.
Set personal goals. That's because true. Ruby Dee and Ozzie, nothing but love. I looked at them and was like, I want that kind of love right
Exactly.
there.
Exactly.
Barack and Michelle, I was like, I want that kind. Even though Michelle does show us, I believe unintentionally, that Barack be getting on her damn nerves sometimes. Can't you see it all over her? She literally be looking like, Barack, ain't Obama. You getting on my damn nerves.
Yeah, face be balled up sometimes. That is so funny. But it's so funny you say that. I think it also brings us back to the reality. Listen, celebs are human beings just like the rest of us.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? And we do. Sometimes we forget. We hold them up. And like you said, we got to watch where we set our goals. Who we, set our goals to be like.
And at the same time, again, they are trained actors. They can turn on and put on when they're in public to give us that perception and get home and smack the shiznit out of each other.
That's
so,
true. That's true.
Okay. So back to, I love how we just deep dive into things. I love when we be deep diving with our cotton panties on. With the Palmers in our back pocket. So anyway, so she goes into this whole thing, how she was in this entanglement. She wanted to feel good. She realized while she was in this relationship with August that her thing was, instead of fixing herself, it was fixing other people. Now, both of them, what I really found funny was they were calling the boy Aug. Like, y'all still call him by a nickname.
Yeah. I was tripping off of that too. I was like, wow. Like everything is still cool.
Yeah, like everything's still cool. But Jada did drop a gem because she said August literally walked away, deaded all communication with them. They haven't spoken to him in years. So then they hit it on this is old. Like they hit this old, like why this coming up now?
Yeah.
Listen, if somebody, and I know this, I'm making this comparison, but if someone was abused in their family and finally let it go at the Thanksgiving dinner table, you're going to say, I mean, this old, why this coming up now?
Exactly.
Because in essence, I feel like Jada did kind of prey on August, because had Jada Pinkett Smith is 48 years old and August is 26 maybe. And I might be off for a few years.
Yeah, but it's around, It's
in the ballpark,
like
right?
21 year difference. Yes.
It's in the ballpark. Had that been Will, and Willow brought a friend home.
Yep.
And Will started smashing that little girl. Child.
Yeah, and that's facts. We have to talk about that too, because that is very true. Very true.
But it's funny because it's Jada. But if it had been Will, he would have been the next Epstein.
Yes, exactly.
And Black Twitter, child, is you mind if I give you some of mine? I'm sorry, we shouldn't even be laughing. Let's not laugh because somebody gonna take this the wrong way. But anyway, yes, you are very much right. So there are a lot of layers to this that we literally could sit and dissect all day long. But the gist of it is, Jada said it was an entanglement. The Black Twitter is having a field day with that.
Oh yes. The memes, oh gosh, are unreal.
Memes, the kids, all of it. And, it's just really funny how they both acknowledged that this young man was mentally and physically broken when he came into that house. And what you gave him, Jada? Sexual healing.
Yep. That's exactly what was said.
She gave him sexual healing. And then she said, I just wanted to feel good. I immediately went back to Halle Berry and Monster Ball when she was like, make me feel good. I was like, what? I was like, these visuals are bad. They're bad. But anyway, so needless to say, downplayed the entire thing. It was a relationship. We were broken up. Thank you for loving me through everything. Will hit her with the I'ma get you back. That was a notable point because she said you already did. He was looking like you just went off script. You wasn't supposed to say that.
Yup.
And then he said, well, I'm going to get you again. And so here's the thing.
That was crazy.
Yes, because here's the thing. People were like, Will looks so hurt. Will wasn't hurt. Will was frustrated.
Yeah.
Will was like, we done had these hoes for years. You went and got a young boy who fell in love and told everybody. Yep. Now we got to come sit at this table with our script, hire a marketing team to send Ice Cream Convos this email with talking points and hashtags. And now I got to sit here and pretend that it's all cool and, it's all cute and everything. But we only going to talk for 12 minutes because I got some other shit to do. And that's basically what it boiled down to.
Yeah, exactly. And he's still a man, though, at the end of the day. So like you said, frustration is what I see. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad you said he's a trained actor. All that tears and everything else, he's tired of it.
He's frustrated because now he know he gonna get these jokes about this young boy because with all the other memes and the entanglement memes that are flying around the internet, so are pictures of August Alsina in his drawers.
Yeah,
and it's not hard to understand. It's not hard to understand how she got entangled, and it's funny because I could picture it, Karla, like. He's staying at the house, they canceling him and all that other stuff. And August happens to take a shower, or he's in the bathroom and Jada walks in by accident. oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. He's like, oh, it's all right, Ma. Remember, he was calling her Ma. It's all right, Ma.
Yeah.
And then her eyes go down, and then the music starts. He passed her the biscuits at the table. Their fingers linger a little longer than usual.
You know how it goes? Yes. Yep. I'm just saying. I understand it.
Listen,
I don't condone it, but I understand it.
I ain't saying I agree with it, but I understand it because I saw August in his drawers, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yes.
Because listen, August may have been mentally and emotionally worn out. He may physically, he was worn out from the waist up. Hallelujah. From the waist up. Hallelujah.
Yes.
But So anyway, so they put it out and social media starts to react, right? You have people who are like, this some boo. They just wasted 12 minutes of my life. And then you had other people like, oh my gosh, the levels of transparency. I just hope to find a man who could love me through. Okay.
Yeah.
Needless to say, Will's girlfriend probably was sitting behind him like, hurry up. We supposed to go to dinner. Hurry up. Well, you know, the little wrap it up.
Yes.
Let's go to dinner, Poppy. Let's go to dinner.
While forgetting the whole reality of it, right?
Yes, the bigger picture. Yeah. I also think about Will and Jade. I mean, Jaden and Willow.
Yeah.
The effects of that on them because both of them have been very quiet. So the person I'm most concerned about at this point and wondering how the impact of this Red Table Talk hit was August Isolina.
Yes.
Girl, I could picture August at home swinging at the air like Trey when he went to Brandy's house after the police pulled them over and harassed him.
Yeah.
I know. And I know for a fact August was hot and mad as fish grease. Imagine being in love with an older woman and then her and her husband sit down at a table, laugh about your relationship, and she calls it an entanglement and then doubles down and says, well, you know, she basically got caught up because she like helping people who need help versus helping herself.
Right. And that's the part that bothered me. You already made him look so weak and vulnerable. You started talking about his mental from the rip. You started talking about that. So I know he was going through it. I felt so bad. Like, honestly.
You know, you just touched a good point, though. Damn. Girl, you're the best co-host in the world. You just hit another point. Because you said from the gate, they sat down at that table from the door, laying out his mental instability.
Oh, yeah.
So then that lays the groundwork for, well, why is he telling it now? Oh, yeah, because in the first 3 minutes of this, we said he was mentally unstable.
Yep. That's wrong. That's where they was wrong. That's where I kind of like, I looked at him differently. I don't care what production, whatever you had set up, you didn't have to do it at his cost. Because we all know that it's facts that August has mental and physical or emotional, you know, he has issues. He's had issues in the past.
Yep.
So we didn't need them to reiterate it or tell us about it again.
No,
that was their way of laying it out.
Or use it against him.
Right.
Damn. Yep. So anyway, so August was hot as fish grease.
Yeah.
He was in them Twitter streets. Yeah. And you know, you ever be so mad, but if you lash out, then it'll look like you mad. Like you mad, but you don't want to look like you mad.
Yeah.
Or you're upset and you don't want to look like you upset. So Keke Palmer.
Oh, poor Keke.
Somebody pulled up an old picture of Keke because I had almost forgot that at one point in time, Keke and August was kicking it hard.
I did forget.
They were kicking it real hard. I remember videos of him at her house or her at his house. One of them was frying fried chicken, and they was talking about how the person can cook so good. And I was like, they're spending a lot of time together. Like, what kind of homie lovers fried chicken skillet is this?
Yeah.
They were spending a lot of time together, riding around, snapping pictures in the car. If a chick in a car with a dude and she snapped that side, that photo like this, she wanted something going on. That's I mean, come on, I do it in the car with my husband. So, you know, it is what it is. Well, anyway, somebody dug up the picture and put it and was like, Keke, is this you? So Keke was like, yes, but he was never my man. And she was like, and you keep reaching for something that's not there. Well, I guess that was the straw that broke August Isolina's back.
Or back, yeah.
When I tell you he swooped down on Keke and basically told Keke she was still mad because he curved her. And I guess she wanted to be with him. He curved her. And the reason why he curved her was because of her friends who was showing him text messages and photo strings and all kind of stuff that she was sending to them, where she going crazy and worried about who he messing with and who he dating. And I mean, when I'm talking about catch a stray bullet.
Yeah. That was a hollow tip. That was ridiculous. That was seriously. And come on.
I'm like,
he went off.
I said, what in the displaced anger is going on in these Twitter streets?
Yes.
Kiki caught a hollow point bullet stray.
She did. She really did. And see, that's one of those things, just like you said, he was already, imagine how emotionally, he was.
Yep.
So it's like one of them things when you already, like you said, you're trying to keep it together.
Yep.
And then that one person, you think somebody looking at you funny, or you just black out.
It today of all days. They just got done with the red table and you're going to try it today.
Exactly.
Nah, you got to get this smoke.
Yeah.
You got to get this smoke. So shout out to Kiki. We're going to put her on the our sick and shut in list as she recovers from that stray hollow point bullet she caught from August Alsina. Because I know she did not see it coming. But she did take to Instagram and she was like, basically said, long story short, she going to go ahead and take the high road because she know he hurting.
Yeah.
And she was like, trust and believe my ego want me to say something.
I know she like,
but I'm going to go ahead and take the high road.
Kiki's a good, it's Kiki. Think about it.
Yeah. I like Kiki. I'm going to leave it at that. I like Kiki. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it. That's gonna be the new thing. You'd be like, yo, I like old boy.
Yeah. Like
yeah. But like, okay,
we gotta use that. But that's
so. Listen, Will and Jada gonna do what they do. At the end of the day, it's really none of our business. But because they are public figures, it's in front of our face.
Exactly.
And because we're human beings, we're gonna have opinions, and I am a firm believer in learning from the way other people move. Like, I see how y'all ended up at the red table. Let me not get entangled and end up at a disposition table. So let me just chill out. You know what I'm saying? So let me just go ahead and keep my situations to 2 syllables or 1 or 3 syllables instead of 4. Because when you hit 4 syllables, you're gonna be in some mess.
Oh yeah.
So with that being said, let them do them. Say a prayer for August, because I can't even imagine. Because he still loved Jada.
Oh, yeah, he loved Jada. That love don't go. It's not going to go anywhere. So definitely pray for him.
I want to close this whole topic with a meme that I saw, and it was a meme of Will Smith, and he looked frustrated as hell in the meme. It was a shot from some movie he had been in, and it said, "When you can't even kill her, because then she'll be with Tupac."
That's wrong. That's wrong.
Like, damn,
oh my God.
I can't even kill her because then she'll go be with Tupac.
Wow. Yeah. You think about that. That's whoever, shout out to whoever thought of that one. No, that's entertainment. That's pure comedy.
Black Twitter. Twitter.
Yeah. Never let you down.
Remember that? Twitter. Remember that? Some of y'all old school ICC podcast listeners know what I'm talking about. All right, so since we're speaking of Twitter, I want to talk about something that I saw in the streets of Twitter this week that really pissed me off. Well, I guess last week, because today is a new week. So, there's a football player, and I don't know exactly if he on a little league team or he just playing his backyard or whatever, but there's a football player and his name is Kyle Quiero. And I don't know, sometimes, they said idle mind is the devil's playground. And apparently he was idle that day and something just jumped in his spirit and he hopped on Twitter. He hopped on Twitter and had the nerve to ask the masses, y'all find Jill Scott attractive?
Right?
That is me slapping off his chair. What? What? He was like, so y'all, then he said, oh, it's an energy thing. Oh, okay, I get it. It must be an energy thing. Okay. An energy thing. Have you seen Jill Scott, Jilly from Philly?
Right. What Jill Scott he talking about?
I don't know. He must be talking about some Jill Scott Johnson or something, or Jill Scott Thomas. Yeah. You ain't talk about our Jill Scott.
Nah.
And that it bothered me on many levels. Needless to say, Black Twitter drug him through the streets of social media.
Oh, yeah.
Diced him up, minced him, sprinkled him over some you ain't shit pancakes, and then tossed him in the trash. And it was funny because moments like this are they're appalling, but then you kind of live for him because he thought that he was going to come to Twitter and get a bunch of people to dog Jill Scott or get a bunch of people to talk recklessly about Jill Scott or to point out how she not sexy because she a big girl or she's this or she's that or she's this. And it backfired in his face. They ate him up to the point, Karla, that he literally had to lock down all of his social media pages.
Good. He played himself.
He had to lock them down. I'm like, are you out of your, as Black people say, rabbit ass mind? Yes. Not attractive dude. I have been married for 12 years. I will risk it all for Jill Scott. You got me to entanglement. What? Bring me to the red table. I will sit across from Jerron Bryant at that red table and explain to him how the shit started out as a long walk after the dark. I don't know. We were in the park. He was like, maybe we could just be silent. I don't know what happened. The next thing I know, I was living my life like it was golden, and it was just on from there. I mean, that's all I remember. Yeah, that is all I remember. Is Jill Scott attractive? So then you had people who were like, here we go. How we're Black men trying to fat shame and blah, blah, blah. And, and then, it was right on the heels of 50 Cent with his exotic mess while talking to Lil Wayne. Yeah. We're not even going to waste energy on that. And so it was already like, really, you two? But he came for the right one. Jill Scott could literally say, good morning. And I'm going to be like, Lord, where is my cotton drawers? I need to change. Lord, I need to change my cotton drawers. Knew I should have bought the six pack. Lord, where's some good old Hanes when you need them? It's Jill Scott. So then some people came in. So of course, everybody was like, I don't know what planet you dropped in from. Somebody need to take your temperature. Do you got the COVIDs? Yeah. Is your brain Do you got the bubonic plague? What's going on, young man? What's wrong with you? Oh, you must not be better. You don't recognize a real woman when you see one. You don't recognize a queen when she in this thing. Like, what is wrong with you? Okay. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. Then you had another group of people who came in and was like, y'all only going up hard in the paint because it's Jill Scott. What if he had asked about Gabourey Sidibe? All right. The people who do that, I just want to take a moment to point out the people who do that, because somebody was like, well, what if it was Gabourey Sidibe? Would y'all be going hard in the paint like that? So you are posing the question to us, accusing us of thinking we won't go hard in the paint for Gabourey, but why are you using Gabourey as the example?
That's what I'm saying.
Why did you choose her as the example? Because you're doing the same thing he did to Jill.
Yep. If not worse.
If not worse, would y'all be going up if it was Gabourey? Hell yeah, I'll be going up for Gabourey. Chocolate, cute, juicy, cheek ass girl. Yes. Hell yeah, I'll be going up for Gabourey.
Wow.
So, again, it's just those issues, but he did issue a formal apology to Jill, and I meant to write it, but I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to be part of his cleanup crew. If somebody find out he apologized, cool. I started to write about it, but I was like, nah, because all I'm going to do is help him clean it up. I'm not helping him clean up.
Yeah, because he only apologized because they jumped on his ass. That's what I'm tired of too. Let him. We got accountability. Deal with it.
Yep.
Deal with it.
Yep. I was like, just throw the whole football player away. I was like, do he play in the midget league? Yeah, where do we play ball?
Is he a starter? Because you know me, I'm like, oh, he must be special teams.
I think he on the midget. He played little league.
I haven't watched the NFL in years, but I don't know much about him.
Nah, he is somewhere keeping somebody's bench very, very warm. I don't care. I don't care. Anyway. Listen, first thing, rule number 1, do not come for Jill Scott.
Period.
Because I can sit here and tell you a million and one. First of all, let me just indulge me for a second. Do you mind?
No, I don't.
Because he really messed with my spirit with this one. First of all, she has gorgeous eyes.
Yes.
A smile that could melt Frosty the Snowman. She got the best boobs on the planet. Lord have mercy. She could feed a nation. She still got an hourglass body. And I don't care if it's a larger size hourglass. The woman got an hourglass shape. And listen, she is banging. She is beautiful. She is smart. She is woke. She is talented.
Keep going. She the whole package. She really is.
Hold on, let me change my cottons. Jill Scott is everything. Are you nuts? What is wrong? What? Do you know how many women were in my comments? Like, the best tweet I saw in response to this was some girl said, "Is Jill Scott attractive? ? ! ! ! ! ! ! ! She said, "Me and my husband have a mutual understanding. Whoever gets to her first free game, whoever gets to her first, me and my husband have an understanding." You are nuts. And Jill is such a queen that when she started trending, she came in and reminded everybody we still need justice for Breonna Taylor.
I know that.
She didn't even acknowledge because she knew.
For what?
She not.
Exactly. That's how you do it. We're talking about Jill. I didn't expect it any other way.
The same Jill that would have called him a king, he turned around and asked people, y'all find Jill Scott attractive? Okay. Yeah,
he played himself.
Sidebar, do you know, a little trivia, do you know who Jill Scott thinks is fine as hell? And if he had played his cards right and slid around her way, if he had pulled up in the park after dark for a long walk, he would have got them skins.
Who?
Future.
What? Wow.
Jill Scott posted a picture of Future one day, and she said, in only the way that she can, so I can't reiterate verbatim, but she was like, "This man is literally chiseled by the gods." She was like, "Look at his jawline, look at his nose, look at his eyes, look at the shape of his head. If Future if he wasn't trash as he is,
Future, yeah, exactly.
He could have been around there taking long walks in the park. He could have been up there in what's it called? What's the park? The plateau. Or up at the plateau. Walk around in the dark with Jill. Yep. And I was like, and it was funny because her post was the one that made me actually look at him, like actually pay attention to the features, like the features of his
facial structure.
His facial structure.
Yeah.
It's because of her.
Yeah.
Because the way she said it, I was like, well, if she think he cute, then I gotta think he cute too. Because the way Jill Scott is set
it's a must. That he must be fine.
He must be fine, and I'm just not woke enough to see it.
Yeah.
So far as I'm concerned, Future fine too. Because Jill said he's fine. That's all I got. So shout out to Jill. No weapon formed against Jill Scott or any Black queen for that matter shall prosper. Okay.
Ever.
So I feel I feel sorry for you, mother. Kyle, I'm gonna pray for your mom because your mom, she missed a lesson somewhere along the line. I don't know where you got brainwashed, but thou shalt not come for Jill from Philly. No, not period. Never. So, all right, so let's get real. Tamara Mowry, she was like, "Listen, it's been real, y'all. I'm out."
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge.
It is. It's literally like, it's almost like I don't know if that's a good example. The Temptations when Otis left. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis.
Yeah, it's big though. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan. I watched it. I wasn't a big fan of the real, but I do know she's a huge, huge piece.
Yeah, her seat matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it took a minute for me to get used to Tamara on there because Tamara was so squeaky clean to the point where initially it was kind of annoying, but as the show went on, you could see where they was being bad influences on Tamara. But she was so squeaky clean. But it was funny because I thought to myself, I said, you know what? The Real been doing those remote shows, because of COVID. They're doing these remote shows. And Tamara been at home and she'd be like, I kind of miss being around here. And you know what? The Real ain't really all this cracked up to be like, and I just feel like while she was at home and she was around her family more, she had that family bonding time. Ain't no telling what her husband was whispering in her ear. Not that I'm blaming him, but that is her spouse. And I'm pretty sure she had a discussion with him about the decision.
Right.
But, listen, there is nothing like having a job and being away from that job long enough to realize, I really don't care for this job.
That's true. That's true. It's like an awakening. Like, wait a minute. You start looking around.
Like, okay, I'm good. So she announced yesterday that while it's been real, she said that she wants to spend more time with her family, explore other opportunities. But something is going on in Tamara. And I noticed it on her birthday, on her and Tia's birthday. Tia posted a picture of her and Tamara and was like, "Oh, Wonder Twins, it's our birthday. Love you so much, my twin. Just love doing this life with you. You're my other half, blah, 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 blah." Tamara posted a picture of her by herself and was like, stepping into a new year, I said, "Oh,
wow."
When people start separating themselves, something is happening on the inside.
Evolving somewhere.
Yeah, because I said, she didn't even post a picture of her and Tia together. Something ain't right. And she come, less than a week later, talking about she leaving The Real.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, do you think they need to bring someone in?
They definitely have to bring someone in. I don't know who. I ain't got the answers for who, but I feel like it's a must that they bring someone in. What you think?
I think so too, because remember they tried to bring Amanda in and Amanda was like, okay, this is cute, but
I forgot about
Amanda's facial expressions like literally told every day, I didn't think this through. I really didn't think this through.
Right.
So, Amanda's not coming back. And now Tamara is leaving. And so that was Lonnie, Jeezy's girl, Jeannie Mai, and then Adrian. So the three of them, I don't know what they're going to do. I wonder what Tamar said when she saw that.
I know. To be a fly on the wall. My thoughts be everywhere. I'd be like, I wonder what Tamar thinking when she saw
it. But so I don't watch The Real enough to be outraged or, to really care that much. Cause I don't, the only time I watch The Real, their marketing department used to send me clips. So if it was like a really good clip, then I would share something like that. But I would never sit down and purposefully watch The Real. And that's not shade towards them. It just wasn't my type of hype. I don't watch The View. But
me neither.
Unless it's just something there that I really want to see. And that's how it was with The Real. So,
Yeah, me too.
I wish Tamara all the best in her new endeavors. I'm interested to see what she got going on, but I do see a change. And I'm not saying it's a negative change. I just do see a change in Tamara. And so I'm excited to see what she got next.
Yeah, because it's definitely something coming. You know that.
She ain't gonna walk away from one thing without having something else.
Oh yeah.
So, all right, Karla. So drip, drop. Drip, 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 drop.
Oh my God, girl.
Drip, drip, drop.
Remember that? Girl. Oh my gosh.
Can we just take it back? But just for a second, can we just relish in the fire that once was Empire, when Empire first hit the street?
Yeah.
And was it Timberland that was doing the music?
Yeah, I think Timberland did. Wasn't it him and Swiss? Wasn't it like a half and half? One year was Timberland, one year was either Swiss. I know Timberland did do 1 year. I don't know if that was that first season or that second season.
I don't know.
I'm positive. I'm almost positive it was the first season Timberland had.
Because that's the music that we never forgot.
Yep.
Drip,
yep.
Drip,
that
drip,
first. That, yeah.
So Empire
got a lot
hit,
of streams.
Empire hit. We had all these little young newbies, and I call them newbies because they just didn't have that really big role or that really big moment, right? We know Taraji. We know Terrence Howard, man. We know Terrence, you know what I'm saying? But then we were introduced to Brashear Gray. We were introduced to Juicy Smoulier. And we were introduced to Trey Byers as the Lion Sons. And I remember just the pandemonium and the fandom around these three men that just blew them out of the water. I remember Yaz and Juicy Smoulier came to the mall here in Atlanta, shut it down. I couldn't even get in the parking lot. It was just so big. The music was huge. Everything. Yaz started cutting lines in his head with his little flat top. I said, oh, you're going to throw 3 cuts in your eyebrows and trying to wow out? What we doing? And then 6 seasons later, Juicy Smoulier out here in these streets with people side-eyeing him. And I did mention that I got a tip that Juicy Smoulier was allegedly dating Michael K. Williams.
Yes, you did last week. Yes, you did.
So, Juicy Smoulier out here trying to rebuild his life and career and his trust with the Black community. And meanwhile, in Goodyear, Arizona, sorry, Martin, I just didn't want to go to Arizona. Martin tried to tell y'all Black asses years ago to stay out of Arizona.
Straight up.
Listen, weren't they either the last people or they still don't recognize Martin Luther King's birthday?
They were the last. They were the very last.
Black people, get out of Arizona. So I'm just minding my business, eating dinner, and I get the bat signal. Mm-hmm. Like, the bat signal, Brashear Gray arrested. Arrested for what? Domestic violence, girl. Domestic violence. Who is he beating up? His wife. He married, girl. Right? He married. Well, where was he? In Philly, New York, Georgia? Where? Arizona. Phoenix. Goodyear. Ain't that a tire? Child. This man is out in Goodyear, Arizona, allegedly beat his wife for hours to the point where she ran to a Circle K and flagged someone down for help. The police were called, the police came, and she mentioned to the police that her husband is Empire Star Brashear Gray, not my husband Brashear Gray. She meant
Empire Star.
Empire Star, because we need this story to float, okay?
Oh, wow.
So the police was like, okay, let me go to the house, talk to him, see what's going on. They get to the residence, and Brashear was like, I ain't coming outside. Turns into a barricaded standoff for 9 hours. They got to that man's house about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Brashear did not come outside until 7 o'clock the next day. Child.
Wildin'.
Let me tell you what I know he wasn't doing inside that house during the 9 hours. He definitely was not combing his hair. He was not shaving. He was not bathing. He definitely was not sober. It's a lot of different things that was going on inside that house for 9 hours. And then he came out without incident. I'm like, without incident? God. I mean, we're not going to count the 9 hours y'all was standing outside. Come outside. No. Mr. Brashear, come outside. No. All right. We'll just be sitting here till you get ready. I'm like, what? So he finally comes out, they book him, they charge him with domestic violence, they charge him with assault. His wife said he tried to strangle her. She was treated at the hospital, so that's why he got booked, because she had visible stuff going on. It's really sad to see him going from being such a young, loving, excited young man with a whole future and career ahead of him. Fame, stardom. He did get beside himself. You could tell he had caught the vapors. Once fame hit, you could tell he got a little beside himself. But to see it go from there, he was barely recognizable in that mugshot.
Yeah, he was. That mugshot was. I mean, mugshots never look good, but his mugshot, I would have known it was him if it didn't. If it wasn't a headline. If somebody just said, "Who's this?" Yeah. It looked terrible. He looks burnt out. He looks like he hadn't had sleeping days. He just does not look good. He really doesn't look. No, he doesn't.
They need to send him over to Jada's house so she could.
Nah, we don't need to go over there because he's healing people. We don't need him to go over there because he's violent.
Oh, yeah, he was violent. No, we don't need him over there. He's violent. Jaden be outside in the yard fighting. They got to call Trey over. Willow trying to make him. Child, that'd be a mess.
Yeah, but you know what? On a serious note, I just thank God with the climate and everything right now, that could have happened. You know, it could have been way worse scenario for him.
It could have
what
really.
I'm saying?
Yes. You know? So, I mean, one thing I will say, it looks like police have patience in Goodyear, Arizona.
Yeah.
Sorry, Martin. I just didn't want to go to Arizona.
Yeah. Never heard of it. It's so funny how you never hear these towns. It takes somebody famous to commit a crime in them. Then you're like, oh.
Do you remember that time when DMX was living in Arizona?
No, he was out there.
Locked his ass up every week.
Oh my gosh, I don't remember that. DMX had been locked up so much in so many different states.
Well, yeah, Lord. But he's doing good now. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah. Keep him in prayer.
Yeah, keep him uplifted in prayer. Roof. But yeah, so, you know, it's just very disappointing. And, you know, some of the ICC friends were in the comments and a lot of people were making assumptions maybe that he may have some mental illness. Things of that nature based off of his appearance. And I'm like, where's Charlie Mack first out? Where's Charlie Mack?
For real. That's true. That's true.
Like where somebody literally said, where's his mentors? And I'm like,
Charlie Mack.
Charlie Mack.
Who put him on?
At the end of the day, and I almost called him Yaz because that's, you know, that was his little rap name. But at the end of the day, Yaz is an adult, and there's only but so much Charlie Mack can do. He might could try to extend a hand. He might could, you know, it's only but so much that, you know, Charlie Mack can do. So I guess we got to be fair in that. Yeah,
but I definitely think it's something there. Think about it. Think about how his life must be. The show was done. Yeah. He was pretty much in like a 360 deal, right? Yeah. So now what happens now? Yeah. So we don't know what's going on in his life. I feel bad. He's from Philly, so I might be a little biased. My heart goes out to him. But he whatever's going on, like you said, he has to want to get help. So
yeah. And say a prayer for his wife. That young lady need to wake up.
Yeah.
Because if I find out they living happily ever after in Goodyear again, I'm gonna be hot.
Yeah.
Because I did see some stories prior to this particular incident about him allegedly cheating on his wife. And that's when the story first came out that he was married. And I don't dig all into that until it becomes a major headline. You know, I don't chase and run around everybody who's getting in entanglements and carrying on, not until it becomes a major headline like this. Like
how you slid entanglements in there. I do that everyday word now.
I do that again. Yeah. Somebody was like, so entanglement is our word of 2020. Yes. Two words for 2020. Coronavirus and entanglement. Those are our three. Black Lives Matter, coronavirus and entanglement. Those are
pandemic.
Pandemic. Pandemic. Those are our words for 2020. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, 2020. You done taught us. Hold on, real quick. Will somebody please also, can we pray for Trey Byers? Because Lucia's son's out here wilding. I'm just hoping Trey don't do nothing crazy.
Listen, let me tell you something. Trey out here living his best life. Yeah. He ain't going back and forth with y'all. He is married to Queen Grace Byers, and they are living a very happy and sweet life. So I'm very happy that. But you know, when you 2 out of 3. You know how it be. You'll be like 2 out of 3. That's right. So that's why a lot of y'all, if you a parent, keep one child. Because after you start adding on, you shooting dice. Don't crap out. You got one good baby. Just stick with that good baby. Right. Don't try to bring nobody else to the house. Try to tell
Crazy.
You. So, just on a sad note, you know, we do have some sad news. YouTuber, and I wasn't familiar with this YouTuber until, unfortunately, her untimely passing. There was a YouTuber by the name of Nicole, Thea. She's a London-based YouTuber, and she's also a dancer. Beautiful, beautiful chocolate queen. When I tell you, she literally looked like she melt in your mouth and not in your hand. Oh. Beautiful, beautiful. 8 months pregnant. Just did a video where her boyfriend was doing like the belly cast with her. Mm-hmm. Saturday, she passed. The baby did too.
So sad.
And her mom took to social media and basically, you know, announced the sad news. And she also, you know, she just told people to, you know, give the privacy, but thank you for the love, support, and prayers. And that Nicole had already pre-scheduled some videos to go out, and the family is still going to allow those videos to go out after her passing. And it's like, that goes to show just how much of an influencer Nicole was. Because before it used to be like, oh, they're a YouTuber. Nah. YouTubers are straight up creators.
Yes.
They create their content. They have it scheduled, timed, edited, all that. And, they are no longer, they are up there. Listen, a YouTuber can be just as creative, if not more than a filmmaker. I'm
going to say more. They have to implement. A lot of times they have to implement and do different things. They don't have tools that, filmmaker may have.
Absolutely. And so, I just want to take a moment to extend my condolences to Nicole's family and to her man. He lost his girl and his baby.
That is so sad.
And, it's like you see people go through such pain and hurt that you literally think to yourself, like, it starts hurting you just imagining how hurt that they have to be. Like, you can't imagine those type of things happening in your own life. And so, I express my prayers and condolences to them. I also express my prayers and condolences to the family, loved ones, and friends of Naya Rivera. Her body was discovered on Monday. After 5 days, they were looking for her for 5 days.
Yeah, it's really sad. But just reading that lake, from what I've read, that lake is pretty deep, about 130 feet deep, and it's a lot of debris and trees, and they couldn't. I think what took so long, they had to use a lot of sonar. Divers couldn't. Their visibility was limited. Yeah, so, and
they have currents and stuff. They said usually during the day like that, they have like high currents or whatever.
Yeah, and it's sad. I think like 9 people have died since like the 90s, have drowned in that same lake.
Wow.
And what stood out to me, just, me just kind of digging, because I was so, I don't know why I was so obsessed with her. I mean, Naya, I felt so sad. She's a mother here. And, last time her son saw her was apparently when he looked back. Yeah. So just reading, it looks like that it's really, really not a great place to swim. It was, I think, like 7, she may make 9. I can't remember. I think it's just, it's pretty dangerous. It looks like that lake is. So,
and what really hurts my heart is to think about the moment that she knew that I just got to get my baby back in this boat because it's a wrap for me.
Yeah, and that's the part that stood out with me, because one of the cases I was reading back in 97, it was the same kind of situation. It was a father trying to save his child. The child, he was able to boost the child back into the boat, and then he lost his life.
Wow.
So that kind of freaked me out a little bit. It's so sad. It looks like they went out for a swim, and the current, may have taken her, and she just wanted to boost him. That's the first thing we're going to do. I'm going to make sure my child.
Absolutely.
So I'm just glad her body was recovered.
Yeah.
Because it's some closure. I hate to use that word. But
because imagine as a family member, you just think, I just to add on to that, had they not recovered her body, her mama would have always had to go to that lake and know my child is out there somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's just so hurtful. And again, like I'm not going to act like I was like the biggest Naya Rivera fan.
Right.
I was familiar with her work. I was familiar with, and what's funny is when she passed, everybody started pulling out and digging out all these archives. I had no idea. And I guess I just didn't put two and two together. How much Naya Rivera has been in my face over the years and years.
Me neither. That's true.
Family Matters.
Yep.
Bernie Mac show. This child. This child has been everywhere. But my first thought was Glee. Like, that's when I was like, oh, okay, this is the Glee girl.
Me too.
I really, really, really didn't put in or didn't know. I'll just chop it up to ignorance. How long this girl has been in the game.
Yeah, me neither, though. It's not ignorant. Sometimes you don't know, especially when they're in the game for so long.
4 years old.
And sometimes they slide through and you're like, oh, okay, now I remember you.
4 years old. She doing commercials, all that, sitcoms. The child work with Red Fox. It's grown people who can't say they work with Red Fox.
Legend. True.
And so, just prayers to Josie, her baby boy.
Yeah.
And Little Rel, it's funny because when people pass, sometimes you find out about friendships that they had that you didn't know existed.
Mm-hmm.
Her and Little Rel Howery were apparently very, very close.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
See, exactly. I didn't either. And he got on social media and he said he is so heartbroken that it's scaring him.
Oh,
yeah. And I plan to write about it after the podcast.
Wow.
But,
to pray for him.
Yeah. And I just asked ICC friends to pray for him because, you just think about immediate family, but people lost their bestie. People lost their little buddy, their little phone buddy, just anything. Ice cream buddy, shopping, but like it's just
peer, co-worker. It's all
Yes. Josie lost his mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
as someone who lost my mom very young, I know the type of impact that it has on you. Like I lost my mom right before my 6th birthday, so I know the impact that it has on a child. Like everything is different. You see everything different, especially when you see other kids with their moms. Like when you go to school. You see with their moms and all that. So it definitely has a different type of impact. And you live a very different life or have a very different perspective when you don't have your mom. You might have mother figures. I'm not saying I didn't have mother figures and people who stepped in and everything, but it's just that different a mom. So that's why it's so important, and you're a great mom and I hope I'm a great mom. It's very important for us.
You're an excellent mom.
Just always be entangled with our children. Y'all gonna be so sick of me. Y'all gonna be sick of me. I got a whole bunch of them. I got a whole list right here. I'm gonna play it. So it's very important. And last but certainly not least, Kelly Preston. Now this one right here, y'all. This one hit me deep.
So sad.
This one hit me too, because I was working. I was up later than usual because I told you sometimes I stay up late just so I can catch my West Coast ICC friends. And thing popped up and it was like Kelly Preston. The only Kelly Preston I know is John Travolta's wife. What the? And I clicked it. Soon as her picture came up, I about slid out of my desk. They purposefully kept it quiet. She quietly battled. This woman done been on red carpets with her husband while battling breast cancer. Yeah. This woman. So now hindsight is 2020. I'm going back looking at everything over the past 2 years. Like this woman was fighting right here and they kept it so, but every so often over the past 2 years, she would just out of nowhere, just thank her Johnny, because she called him Johnny. Thank Johnny for being so loving and so caring and so helpful and all that. And I was just like, man, they just so sweet. And then you think they already lost Jet. They lost their son. And so John Travolta, keep him uplifted in prayer for real, because this man done buried his son and now he about to bury his wife. And they were married for 29 years.
Oh gosh, I didn't realize that.
29 years they have been married.
It was 30 years.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to pray for John. That I don't know that type of hurt. I hope I never have to experience that. That type of hurt. Wow.
Yeah. I'm just like, God, dog. Yeah. But I want to shift gears a little bit because I know the podcast like, dang, where the jokes at? But one last thing I want to address while we're talking about deaths and the losses of loved ones. Yesterday, I'll be sure got on Mark Zuckerberg's Instagram.
Oh gosh, that couldn't end up well.
He posted a video of himself riding in a car, crying his eyes out, while "Ooh, this love is so." That's my jam.
Oh, that's a jam. Yeah,
I won't let you go. So I'm like, who done broke up with him? That's my first thought. Who done broke up with him? Right. And why is he on Instagram crying about it? Because that's a ooh, this love is so. He just crying. He making sure he getting all in the camera, leaning forward. You can see the tears coming. He crying real hard. I'm like, oh, no, he not crying. He weeping.
Right.
What? And he just, in the time to show my love for you. So I'm trying to feel sad for him, but I'm like, no. So I'm like, wait, what's going on? Because that's my jam.
You better get it.
I'm trying to stay focused. So I go over to the caption because I need to know why I'll Be Short is crying on Mark Zuckerberg's Instagram.
Right.
And I look over and I read the caption. And this is one of those situations where I'm literally going to have to read the caption to you all. I can't verbatim this one. I can't paraphrase this. I have to, well, let me just make sure he ain't blocked me. Okay, he hasn't blocked me. But he has taken down the video.
No.
He's taking it down. But thanks to your trusty girl, Ice Cream Convos.
You got that thing.
I still got it. Hold on.
Nice.
So, in this caption, it reads, I only paraphrased it. Sorry. Okay. But here we go.
That's all right. We'll take it.
At one point, he wrote, I just found this footage from the morning I learned of Lady KP, aka Kim Porter's murder, and how it ripped the soul from my physical body. I'm gonna let y'all digest that sentence.
What?
I'm gonna let y'all digest this while my trash people pick up my trash extremely loud.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I just found this footage from the morning I learned Lady KP, aka Kim Porter's murder, and how it ripped the soul from my physical body. Now, let's stop right there. Yes, let's stop. Wait a minute. Anytime I am extremely heartbroken, upset, devastated, my first thought is to never pull out my phone and videotape myself crying.
Exactly. Who does that? Unless you're looking for attention.
Okay. All right. So then another part of can you hear my trash man outside? At least I got a trash man.
You better get it. Yeah.
So then he goes on to say, I do know very clearly that Kimberly didn't just check out all of a sudden over pneumonia. Real P's moving silence because the P wasn't in this. It just said pneumonia. Just with no P.
Stop.
Yeah. He said, that's some bullshit. Really? He went on to say, so then, he went on to say some other things. Then he said, this is where I get in trouble. So he knew he was about to say some lies. We just celebrated our son Quincy's new deal and Christmas special with Netflix. She was in fantastic health, as well as laughing, seeing me and Diddy mutual exchange at the theater. I'm going to leave it there.
Wow.
Why make mention of Diddy?
Of Diddy, period. Yeah, that's what.
I'm going to leave it there. What type of energy? Like that's, when they be like, Your Honor, objection, leading the witness.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. I can't believe he did that.
Yeah. And then he put a whole bunch of weird hashtags that unfortunately, I didn't copy and paste those. But for those who don't know, Kim Porter passed away on November 15th, 2018. She was suffering flu-like symptoms for several weeks, and they blamed it on pneumonia. Her cause of death was pneumonia, right?
Yeah.
Some people, I see friends in the comments saying maybe Kim had COVID, but that would have put us back 2 years for COVID. But anything's possible. It might have been COVID-17, COVID-16. I don't know. It's not COVID-19. So now, and many people actually agree with Al B. Shore that Kim was killed. There's this narrative about her planning to release a tell-all book. And then all of a sudden she gets sick and die when she was planning to release a tell-all book about Diddy. Now, this is all hearsay. So please don't take this and say, well, Ice Cream Convos says she's about to release that book, because that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this is what is thrown out in the streets. At the same time, this is what's put out in the streets. But can we take a moment to address why people are so willing to believe that Diddy will sacrifice and have people killed? That's a topic. That is a conversation.
No, that is a conversation. And I think that's very valid. I think it stems all the way back to when Biggie died. I just think that's in people's hearts. I know people, and I probably was one of them at one time. That felt like I wouldn't go as far as say I felt like he murdered him or had him killed, but I was on that side like, well, maybe, because, that was right around the time Diddy started rapping.
Yep.
So I don't know why, but I think it stems from that. That's where I think it started.
Yes. I can agree. I definitely agree with that. I agree. It started back with Biggie. Just taking a look at Diddy, and I know we are sidebarring, but this I'll Be Sure thing is pretty self-explanatory. I'll Be Sure loves attention. He craves attention. It's not very hard to identify the people who love and crave attention. If you videotape, I'm gonna get it one day. If you videotape yourself crying and then say, "Oh, I came across this lost footage of me crying."
That's just
lost footage.
How do you have lost footage of you crying, going through an emotional, like you said, who pulls out a camera or pulls their phone out right when they're going through something like that?
An ICC friend made a very valid point. She said, first of all, I ain't trusting no N-word who gonna pull out his phone and videotape himself crying versus calling his son to make sure he good.
Exact. Period. There you go.
I was like, yeah. Well, maybe he called first and then videotaped. I don't know. I'm trying to get Abby.
I'm not here. How many people have you seen? We've been in real life shit. How many people have you seen pick up their phone when they get that bad news or when they go through something and the first thing they do is grab their phone to record themselves? Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't know. I'll Be Sure. I started following him on social media because I love, ooh, this love. It's do you wanna rescue me? But the Stonewatch Jeans on. And so, but I mean, he's a 80s, late 80s, early 90s R&B classic. He's a legend, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If we want to give him that. So to watch his antics and tomfoolery on social media is very, very trying. First of all, he filters the hell out of all his pictures.
Oh, wow.
Like a woman, he filters all his pictures. Photoshop and filter all his pictures. He went into the hospital and he made this big to-do. He underwent surgery. He made this big to-do about undergoing surgery and had everybody praying for him, wondering what's going on. I was told in confidence through a very reliable source that he allegedly, I'm doing air quotes, had weight loss surgery. He had us thinking he was about to have a heart transplant or get a kidney or get a new pancreas. Can you get a new pancreas? I don't know. But it was weight loss surgery. But it was such a production. It was all a production. And y'all wearing me out with these productions for nights.
Too old for that. I'm going to get right.
Like we at this age where we just like, I just want to thank the Lord for waking me up this morning.
Word,
we at that age.
Exactly.
Like, Lord, just thank you for waking me up this morning. Because you didn't have to, but you did, Jesus. That's where we are right now. Like all the extra it's unnecessary. It's really not needed. So but yeah, Diddy. People believe a lot of things about Diddy. People believe that Diddy, but if you really think about it, at one point in time, I loved me some Sean Combs. Mm-hmm. Like me and Sean Combs trying to bring broads home. I was all about, I was trying to be broad to get brought home. I love me some Sean Combs. And so, but as you grow, you mature, you look at things and you be like, I don't want to say that Diddy is, with all due respect, I don't want to say he's a bad omen. Right. But he has the appearance of a bad omen.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
I mean, look at his track record. All you got to do is go back and look.
Well, let's take a moment to look at Diddy's track
record. You gonna pull it out?
Yeah. All right. So let's start. Craig Mack.
Right. Yeah.
Gone.
Yep. Yeah.
Joined a cult allegedly.
Oh wow, I don't remember that one.
Gone. Craig Mack gone.
Yeah.
Next, Biggie. Gone.
Gone.
Faith Evans. Arrested for cocaine, married to Stevie J, arrested for domestic violence.
There you go. Shine.
Arrested for shooting up a club and got deported and is now running for office in Belize.
See? There
Did good once he got away from Diddy.
Did good. See?
Mace publicly blast Diddy for stealing his money, stealing his rights to his music, his publishing. I'm still not sure what happened that time Mace's leg was broke, because that's still up in the air. Mace literally went to Jesus in order to get out of his bad boy contract, because if you get called by an act of God, it will release you from your contract. So Mace started his own church in order to pastor, the good pastor, Mason Bethel. Started his own church. Yeah. Once he got tired, once he knew he was good and out of the contract, okay, I'm back. I'm rapping a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Yep. There it is. Loon, because I'm trying to go. I'm trying to get
in jail.
Yeah, see? That's what I'm saying. You got
Black Rob.
Yeah. I forgot about Black Rob.
Yeah. I had this bad chick uptown. She was woke. That was my jam. Oh.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know how many that we just named. And we didn't even name, the lot what he did to them.
You want me to really make it uncomfortable?
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
Tony Thompson, high five, signed the bad boy. Gone.
Wow. Oh. I didn't even realize they were under Bad Boy.
Just Tony.
Ah. Oh, that's scary. Wow. That's right. Tony did do a little solo thing, or was going to do a solo thing, right? That's interesting.
I'll leave it alone right there.
I don't know. Yeah, we want to leave that alone. Oh, yeah. Where they at? Where they at? Where Keisha and Pam and them?
Okay. Hold on. I don't know what Kima doing. I'm going to just put that in the atmosphere. Don't know what Kima doing. Keisha, Mary Omar Epps, never did music again.
Oh, that's right.
Mary Omar Epps got a bunch of beautiful kids that look exactly like Omar Epps. That man jeans ain't no joke. All them youngins look exactly like him. His daughter looked like a little girl with his face.
Yeah, okay? True that.
Pam married a dude, and Pam, she's trying to do music now. Done linked up with Breezy from Empire. Shout out to Breezy, because she escaped the Empire curse, because now she over there doing what's the show on the CW? The football show on the CW. Can't think of the name of it.
I ain't familiar with the thing.
Hold on.
That one up.
Football.
But Breezy, they look like they might be related.
Exactly. So they just linked up, did a new single together. Hold on.
Okay.
Football show on the CW, All American.
Okay.
Breezy has become a star in her own right on All American on CW, right? Acting opposite of Taye Diggs. Good look for Breezy. Wow. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, Taye Diggs, remember Taye Diggs was skipping around Empire for a little bit. Then he got the hell on. Remember that?
Yep.
Okay.
That's true.
So now Breezy is over there doing her thing, but Breezy done linked up with Pam. Her and Pam did this jam together. But then Pam's ex-husband went and married Centoya Brown while she was still in jail.
Oh, wow. You talk about a small ass world.
This ain't even a world like this. The world feel like a playpen. It's an entanglement. The Bad Boy Entanglement coming to BET this fall. 3-night miniseries. The Bad Boy Entanglement. Wow. Speaking of BET and some special programming, they are doing a documentary series on No Limit. Master P and No Limit.
Oh, for real? Oh, that's going to be good. I'm ready. I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I'm just waiting for the episode when they play "Put My Mother Me" because I'm down for my new.
Yes, straight classic, party classic.
Yeah. So the No Limit story in itself is such a big thing. Master P is annoying as hell. And what is it called? Growing Up Hip Hop did not do him.
Yeah, that's what it was. I think that's what it did. Yeah. The Grown Up Hip Hop P, I don't like.
I'm so annoyed with him and his child, Lil Romeo, on Grown Up Hip Hop. But Master P does deserve his flowers.
Oh yeah,
Master P came up. Was it Master P in the Calliope projects? Is it called Calliope? Calliope.
I can't remember him, girl. All I remember is the Magnolia Project. I can't remember.
That's it. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. The Magnolia, and he came from there, started this record label. They had the cheesiest album covers ever. Remember the 3D Johns where they reaching out their hand at you? Yeah.
Those album covers was crazy.
They were, but they classics now. If you look in hindsight, they classics, right?
Remember About It? Classic.
And he was the original Ice Cream Man. Shout out to Master P. Yes. He was the original Ice Cream Man. And so shout out to Master P because he really did do something great in New Orleans with that label.
Yeah.
Because the label brought us Mystical. Well. Master P. Master P, let me talk to you for a second. I know
where you're going to go with it too. You gotta go.
Master P, can we talk to you for a second?
Yes.
Oh, Master P, can we talk to you for a second? So we had Mystical. Now, Mystical keep getting locked up for allegedly raping folks.
Oh, yeah. Career rapist.
C Murder in jail for allegedly killing somebody.
Yeah.
Is that where it stops for them?
I think it was so many of them. You know, it's hard to keep up.
It was a lot of them. That's when you start being like, well, name No Limit Records. You'd be like, well, it was Master P. It was Silk the Shaka, who could never rap on beat. Silk the Shaka.
Fine, though.
Still fine.
Yeah,
he's still fine.
Yeah.
Silk just looked like he gonna be a fine old man.
Yeah, he is. Oh, yeah.
Fine old man. And the thing is, Silk is fine. He doesn't have really major distinguishing features. He like common looking fine.
Yeah, true that.
Keep a fresh haircut. Yep. He just got a nice round face.
Pretty skin.
Beautiful brown skin. Yeah. He tall, nice build, grown man weight, didn't get fat, no belly. Look like he got a little booty back there. Silk just fine. But him trying to rap on that damn horse and carriage. I said, somebody put Silk in the carriage and just drive him down. He's running behind the carriage. He is running behind. He is lyrically running behind the carriage. Put him in. So anyway, so it was Master P, Silk the Shaka, C Murder, Mia X, Mystical. Damn. Who was it?
I know. That's what I'm trying to go through too. You named everybody I'm thinking of.
Who was it? Snoop Dogg came through there a little bit. Remember?
For a second. Yeah, he did for a second.
Let me see. I'm about to look it up. No Limit Records artist. Hold on. Let me see. Master P. Okay. C Murder. Romeo. I guess we're going to count Romeo. Soulja Slim.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Soulja Slim.
That's another box.
Yeah.
Soulja Slim.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Soulja Slim.
Yeah, that's true that.
Remember they had TRU?
Oh, yeah.
They had TRU. Wow. And that Master P, Silk, and C Murder, weren't they TRU?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Remember Fiend?
No.
You remember Fiend?
No. There's a lot of them. I'm telling you, so many.
Cain and Abel. Do we remember Cain and Abel?
I remember the names, but I couldn't, if I had to point them out, I couldn't tell you who they were.
Mercedes? I don't remember Mercedes.
No, me neither.
I bet you remember Mr. Servoin. Mr. Servoin.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay. Then they said Big Ed. I don't remember him. Mac. 504 Boys. I kind of remember that.
You remember 504 Boys? Remember that Wobble Wobble song? They had that one little hit. You could shake it. I think the
504 Boys was affiliated with Cash Money.
No, it was No Limit.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
All right. I'm looking down. Now they just look like they just throwing everybody in the pot down here. But yeah, so those were the notables. I think I'm gonna stop at Mr. Servoin because I see here they reaching. They got UGK down.
Friend zone. Look, friend zone now.
Yeah.
Down to friend zone.
Yeah, now we talk about No Limit Records and Friends.
Exactly.
And Snoop Dogg came through after he ran. After Death Row tossed him to the wolves.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
No Limit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that because I do want Master P to get his flowers. But
he deserves it.
Yeah, he definitely deserves it. I would like to see a Cash Money special.
Oh yeah, that's another one. And see, that's why you got to have it because think about it. Without No Limit, you don't have Cash Money. I don't think you do.
No, you don't. And it's funny because remember at one point in time they started kind of like bumping heads down there.
Yep. which is nuts. It's like, it's enough for all y'all down there. I never understood that.
Just imagine you having it on lockdown and then another crew came. You know, it was almost a similar setup, but if you really dig into the intricacies of it, it was different. But it was a similar setup.
Yeah, it was very similar.
They even had the similar album covers, the 3D Johns.
Yeah.
Theirs were more blingy though. There was like a lot of.
You know, I often think about if P ever felt some type of way because, you know, basically they took the torch and they ran with it. They opened it up. You know
still
what I'm
running
saying? Like, still running
Wayne
to this day.
Still carrying Cash Money on his back, whether or not he wants to.
That's true. That's facts.
But listen to this. But not even that. Think about this. Cash Money has transcended time and they have lasted because Cash Money, I mean, okay, they had their subsidiaries, right? The Young Money and all that, but it all derives from Cash Money because Cash Money at the end of the day brought us Nicki, Drake.
Yep.
You know, who would have ever thought Lil Wayne, who was running because the block was hot, would turn into the lyrical Lil Wayne that we got today.
He is now. Because think about it, Juvie was the one that was pushed. Juvie was out first. Remember, Juvie had hot. Yep. So we, you know, that's, you would have never thought. I know I didn't, you know, and to see it now, and you just made a great point. It's like generations, you know, now at this point.
And that's why Baby can sit at home and I was about to say something crazy. That's why Baby can sit at home and fold Tony Braxton's cotton panties because that money is long. It is rolling in. And, and Slim. Think about Slim. Like Slim is the most quiet partner in business you ever gonna have in your life.
Yep, that's true. You never hear Slim.
You ever tried to find a picture of Slim to do a blog post?
Bruh. I already know it's hard.
Bruh. I literally been pulling out pictures of Slim from 1988. I'm like,
Slim always been low key and private. Always
low key for some, and he's so big and tall. Yeah. So it's funny because aesthetically, if you look at them, Slim. Oh gosh, how can I say this? Slim. Okay, I don't want to Jill Scott Slim. Like Slim is the equivalent of Silk the Shaka without the visuals.
Okay.
You know,
I got you.
You know, the tree and the
right.
You know, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Look. Yeah. So you know, Cash Money, man. Cash Money done gave us some damn hits.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, hits for days.
Manny Fresh.
Yep, one of the best hip hop producers. I feel like. You know, he's in the top 10.
Do you feel like Manny Fresh gets his flowers?
No, absolutely not. I don't think so. No. Not like other producers that we see.
Y'all better give Manny Fresh his flowers before he starts shooting them straight hollow point bullets like August Alsina. DJ Khaled gonna catch a stray. It's coming. I can feel it.
Straight up.
I'm just gonna say this, and then I guess we can just go ahead and close out today's episode. But DJ Khaled is the Kirk Franklin of hip hop. Now, I need y'all to think about it because some people like, Kirk Franklin is the Kirk Franklin of hip hop. But
right.
DJ Khaled is the Kirk Franklin. Remember, Kirk Franklin used to just go out and gather gospel singers and let them sing, and he just family. Someone asked a question. Yes. Why do we sing? Why do we sing? When we lift our hands, Jesus. When we lift our hands, that's what Khaled do. Khaled go get Chance the Rapper, Justin Bieber. Who else he go get?
Everybody. That's true.
His usual suspects. Drake, all that.
Yeah, Drake, Wayne. Sometimes he pulls him out the bag. He pulls out Ricky Ross out the bag. Sometimes he pulls. So
and think about it. He goes gets all these people, create an album, and put a side on the cover.
Yeah.
You didn't put my picture on the bag. Like I can't get a little inset. Can you do a photo collage of all of us? You gonna put a side on the cover.
Yes,
so all day. To see what he's gonna do with his next album. Is he gonna put Assad and the other baby? I don't know. I haven't.
Yeah, it has to be. You know what he's gonna do. You know he is.
Make them young executive producers. They gonna always have money in their pocket.
Yeah, I love Khaled, but I don't want to see him on my damn commercials either. Like that. I don't.
No.
I should have left that alone.
Yeah, Khaled. You know, Khaled brought to my attention that I could be annoyed by positive energy.
Yes, exactly. And
I never.
Me too. Because, high energy. I think I'm a pretty positive person, but I'm like, God damn. We're too damn positive.
Well, you be like, we the best. All right, we heard you the first time. Go sit down.
Yes.
Damn.
We know God loves you. We know.
Yes, bless up. Yes, we are blessed up, okay. And why are you talking with a Jamaican accent and you from the Middle East?
Yeah. Girl, shout out to Colin, though.
For showing all of us that we could be annoyed by positive energy.
Yes. Oh, gosh, girl.
Yeah. Well, guys, I thank you guys so much for tuning into today's episode. Karla, as always, you are the best co-host ever. Thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you, girl. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way. So guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Be sure to subscribe to the Ice Cream Convos podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast. We are available on Spreaker. We are available on YouTube, iTunes podcast. Well, I guess it's considered Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. All you have to do is visit either the site or Google Ice Cream Convos podcast, and you will find us. Also, download the Ice Cream Convos app for your easy access to all things Ice Cream Convos. You can even listen to the podcast inside the ICC app. So be sure to download the app. And shout out to everybody who's downloaded the app. I think we are literally almost at 1,000 downloads.
Hey, all right.
That's
nice.
A few times I got frustrated with y'all and I started to snatch the app down again. Because remember, I got mad one time and snatched the app down and everybody started texting me like, hey, what happened? I was like, oh, now you want to open the app. I get in my feelings quick. I don't know. Maybe one day we'll dissect the Capricorn and find out why I act the way I act. Karla believes I'm on the spectrum. I might have a touch of
love. It's your passion. That's all. It's your passion.
I guess so. But yes, download the Ice Cream Convos podcast. If you are interested in blogging and learning how to make money online, download the Scoop on Blogging podcast. It is available on Teachable right now for $25. I will teach you everything from getting a domain to monetizing your site. Now is the perfect time to get this shmoney. Now is the perfect time to set up shop while everybody cities going back on lockdown because your cousins don't want to wear a mask and they still want to go to hookah parties on the weekend. And when everybody gets stuck back in the house, you can set up shop and make money at home. If unemployment stopped, if your boss want to furlough you, listen, make your money. I will teach you how to make money online. And you don't have to be a blogger necessarily. You can create an online business. Okay. Lastly, shout out to everyone who purchased an Ice Cream Convos t-shirt. You cannot see me, but I'm rocking my purple today and it feels so good. The material.
Oh yeah. The material's the best. Y'all go. Material's the best. They so soft. Yeah.
So now, thanks to Karla, we are now working on Ice Cream Convos masks. So we have those in the works. So you'll be able to rep the squad out and about in your city when you're going to only go out for necessary items, not when you're on the block. Karla, I know I was supposed to be wrapping this up, but I would be remiss if I did not ask you about that big ass block party that they had in Philly.
Girl, I don't even want to talk about it. Okay. And we was doing good. We was doing good. People losing it. Y'all got to stop that.
Yeah, I saw the footage and I was like, oh, it's going down in Philly.
Yeah, wilding out. They wilding.
It was a block party. And when I tell you they was out there packed like sardines, I couldn't even make out if
like
people had on.
It looked like 300 people. Easy, like 300 to me from the pic I saw.
Wow. But shout out to Philly. Watching your numbers closely in the next 7 to 14 days.
Oh, you ain't gonna do us like that. Nah.
But speaking of, yes, please be safe. Wear your mask.
Yeah.
Social distance. Like, listen, do what you got to do now to do what you want to do later. Russell Westbrook and James Harden have both tested positive for coronavirus. Mm-hmm. So y'all, it's not a game. And for shout out to those of y'all who feel like people are being paid to say they have coronavirus. So what kind of payment did the people who died get?
Exactly. Girl, bye. They have seats, several of them.
Yeah. So with that being said, stay safe. We love you guys so much for always supporting us. And, we'll be back here. New episode every Wednesday of the Ice Cream Convos podcast. Be sure to share this episode with a friend. Drop down in the comments wherever you listen and let us know your thoughts. And we love you guys. I love you, Karla.
Love you, Zav.
ICC.
We all we got.
Ice cream conversation.